Yeah, we're getting to you. Boom. All right, here we go. Let me turn the light on. And let's get this thing cranking. Boom. There we go. No hair, no nothing. Just want to do this thing involved with a gazillion and one things today. So be it. Let's kill the music. Done. Remove the tomato. Put the big tomato on. Put the big cheese on. Put the big cheese on a tomato with a little glaze. Now we're talking tomato, cheese, glaze. Not too shabby, right? Let's get the comments back over there. Doug, good afternoon to you, my friend. And I can go for something like that. Wow, what a busy couple of days. Tomorrow will wind up being the same thing. Another busy day. Busy with so many different things. Obviously, you can clean it up. Hey, Mr. Martinez. Cleaning up end of the year stuff. As that goes. Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of those New Year's resolutions, but it keeps coming back to me. It's like, what's the show about? What are you doing? All the rest of that stuff. Does everything make sense? How many different directions and things like that? So, considering out a few things here, considering actually breaking this thing up, maybe doing tomato talk on a weekly basis. Um, Want to get more focused here on the ECNY Foundation. That's the Executive Consultants of New York. So that's the career stuff. So that'll be a conversation. That would be with Maria Fry. The two of us would do that together. Perhaps have a guest on every so often, but talk about talk about some of the other things. Really want to bring it together. But talk about, hey, maybe the idea of a drag strip is a catalyst for the high school vocational programs and what that really means. So Maria's conversation with that, and what the ECNY Foundation is, I'm going to throw this up right now. The website is called Career Map LI. Career Map LI.org. Let's get that going there. That's good. You can all take a look at it at your own leisure as that goes. But the focus with the ECNY Foundation, from her point of view, my point of view, different points of view, same goal. We want to get people employed. We want to get people in careers that make sense. So my focus is a little bit more on the careers that absolutely make sense and what's the potential of them. She's working with people that are in transition and need to get back to work again, so it's a slightly different focus, obviously, as this crowd will tell you right here, is that wonder why that one went there. Hey, Devon, afternoon. Is that we all should be doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? Because once we're doing that, we're going to work our way through every challenge, every hurdle that's out there, not let anything stop us, and continue on going and continue on the learning curve and everything like that. All right. So, ECNY Foundation Executive Consultants of New York. Maria runs these job search boot camps. These are for people that are working or were working and are now looking for new employment, new careers. Does them around the Long Island area. They're online. Sometimes she has people attending from not Long Island attending these things. Possibility of expansion is certainly there, very much there. My focus has been more so on the high school area, that age group. Will say people entering the workforce. I spoke to people a little bit older, college students, and I spoke to some students who are much younger. My fourth grade class that I like to talk about, and quite a few in between, with the DECA program, which is a business program inside the high schools, virtual enterprise group, another business program in the high school, some just flat out conversations, as that goes. But the main purpose there, when I am speaking to these students, is for them to take a look in the mirror. I got to get a mirror here. Hey, Devon, write that down, man. Got to get a mirror. Take a look in the mirror. We need to take a look in the mirror. I asked them to take a look in the mirror and to see who they really are. Who they really are. Not who their parents tell them they should be, not who their teachers tell them they should be, not how or anybody else that's within their circle, their community, but who are they? Who are you really? What is it that you really like to do? What is it that you just normally do? Do you lead, follow, or get out of the way? Big thought process on that. So, in other words, are you a dutiful employer? Are you a manager? Or are you an entrepreneur where it's like, get out of the way? That's the big difference, on that one. It's like, I got this thing going. As that goes, well, maybe you're to get out of the way. And the other side, you don't want to be bothered with anybody, anyplace. You just call it pencil pushers. Pencils, right? Crazy thing. But, we need folks that are totally behind the scene too. If they can figure out what their personality is, that's a start. They can figure out what their hobby is. Pretty obvious. Whatever they're doing is their hobby. Now all of a sudden we got an industry focus, direction, etc. So that's where that goes. Now, Career Map LI. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Hey, Mr. Kaufman. Good afternoon to you, my friend. You're still in the same time zone, I assume, down south. I'm turning over here. Career Map LI. If you go to the site and just click on it, go to the site, you'll see what's on there is a bunch of different modules. We'll use different things, different words, but different categories, different career categories, different industry categories, not just listing jobs. Who cares? I mean, obviously, if you're looking for a job tomorrow or today, you care about that. But it's like, what is it like to do something? What is it like to work in an industry? Man, I've had conversations with many of you about that. Hey, Teddy, man, I got to get together with you again. Got to get my hair cut one more time. Got to make some effort over here. But let me ask you, right? It's like, Devon, Paul, James, Douglas. Who knows what you do better than you? No one. Who's got your life experiences? Well, obviously, just you. Maybe share them with a lot of people, stuff like that. A lot of folks out there with similar ones. Okay, all well and good. But your story is totally unique to you. Your desires, your goals, your strengths, your weaknesses, all the rest of that stuff is totally unique to you. I get people that tell me, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." The one that always gets me the most, is nice on the ego side of things. Oh, you should become a professional speaker. You should travel the globe and go speak at different places. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. But it's not happening. It just is not happening. It does not fit in with my lifestyle. Look, I like to go away like many others, but to do that for a lifestyle? No, I don't think so. Gentleman Mike Pierce, and you could speak to any professional speaker. It's the same story. Oh, whatever. But it's the same story. Mike lives in California, lives in San Diego. So he travels. He told me this might have been pre-COVID, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. The point of the matter is that he travels something like 300 days a year. 300 days a year. What is that? It's like 80% of the year he's on the road. I have no interest in doing that. I don't want to live out of a suitcase. Nope. Not at all. So there's a lifestyle there. So you got, that aspect of it. So when you go out there and you're doing your thing and you're talking to people, it's a matter of telling your story. And maybe those people see themselves in your story in general terms. And that's what really, truly makes this all unique. So a high school student looking at a career in whatever, let's go automotive. Why not? High school student wants to go into a career in automotive. They were lucky enough to participate in one of those vocational programs with their STEM class, and they built a car. Okay, so they want to go into automotive. What does that mean? What does it really mean? Well, they want to go into automotive, but they just don't want to get their hands dirty. Okay, so they're not working on internal combustion engines, those ICE machines. Maybe they just want to do the AutoCAD, the computer automated designs. Maybe they just want to play engineer. Hey, that's big. I watched a video the other day. Ready for this? Women going into the automobile industry, designing the interiors of the cars. I'm not talking about what the color scheme is, the rest of that stuff. I'm talking about designing the proper seats and the way the seats are able to adjust with the steering wheel and everything else that kind of goes along with that. Because the way she was talking about she was talking about it. Is the fact that when she gets into a car with high heels, you can't drive in high heels. Maybe that should be whatever. You shouldn't be driving in high heels and that kind of thing. But she also mentions, like, well, you get in the car and you're pregnant. It's just that much harder to move around. We have a population that's getting a little bit larger and also getting a little bit older. So maybe there are some special features that should be put into the car that cater to that audience, but don't no, take into consideration that audience, but doesn't take away anything from anybody else. Who would know best? Maybe an 80-year-old engineer on the senior side of it, a woman engineer on the lady side of it. Someone who's short, yeah, need a seat that moves up more. Maybe that could be a feature. But the point is, well, there's no but. The point of the matter is that we all have these unique challenges, unique opportunities, unique ways of looking at things, unique stories, and it's like that needs to be taken into account. Not just going into an industry, but going into the piece of the industry. So that website, Career Map LI, what's on there is a description of all of these different industries. I don't know what it is, 15, 16, or whatever. We're building that out a little bit more. But what we're going to put on there, what we're going to be putting on there is, what is it like to work in those industries, that day in the life? Day in life. Think about it this way. Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs, right? What is it like to paint a bridge? Don't know. I can imagine, but I don't know. So he took us there. What is it like to work on a farm? What is it like to clean one of those silos? What is it like to do a lot of things? To clean the sewers. Somebody's got to do it. What is it like to build the tunnels that feed the water into Manhattan? What is it like to build the subways and the railroads and all the rest of this kind of stuff? Beats me. I could take guesses, but I don't know. But he took us there. So that's what I'd like to do with the ECNY Foundation, specifically on the website, the Career Map LI. I'd like to do that. I'd like to take us places. So maybe I do a program that's not Tomato Talk, but it's Career Map LI Talk, about what's it really like to do your job. What do you really go through in the course of the day? Oh, these social media influencers. Oh, it's so much fun. You take the camera, you go on vacation. And it's paid for by the hotels and the travel agencies and the airlines. Oh, it's great. What a lifestyle. Yeah. Is that all it really is? Or is there how much work behind the scenes that has to happen with that? A lot. So that's what I'd like to do, in that respect. Tomato Talk, freestyle, do whatever, and that kind of thing. That'd be fine. Different, still at advancing through different things. But I find I'm like all over I'm all over the place over here. Devon, nobody. I missed where you put up the nobody over there. Nobody has your story but you. That's what you were referring to in there. Yeah, but that's the truth with everyone. Karen, Paul, what else you got there? James, Doug, yeah, myself. We all have our own stories. Some good, some not good, some whatever. Challenges by chance, others maybe self-inflicted challenges, whatever it is. I mean, just kind of is. So that's been the thought there. And then the other one, some of these folks that I work with, definitely got a shave over here too. Was what's going on instead of what's going on? What's going on that one? I was like, oh, could be fun, a little narcissistic, but kind of fun, but maybe on a weekly basis that would be the thing to do. hell, I talk about myself enough over here, and if I focus on getting guests on Tomato Talk, and I do the other program with Marie on the ECNY Foundation Career Map, that's very focused in that respect. Both of them, the other show, if I got guests, it's focused on the guests. So if I do the what's going on and talk about current events, maybe trade shows, networking events, what's going on with the nonprofits that I'm involved with, maybe ones that you could be involved with, and that kind of thing. So a little bit more free form in that respect, but also, as they say, not evergreen. In other words, dated stuff. So if I say whatever's going on this weekend, New Year's is this weekend, that's no longer dated, that's no longer evergreen. If I play that in February, it's out of date. So it could be, it would be in the moment, totally flat out, in the moment. Maybe promote events, share different things that are coming up, stuff like that. So anyhow, that's been kind of the thought process over there. We'll see what we wind up doing, and then perhaps it mean I need to find a different background every once in a while. Maybe take the rest of this studio, my room over here, and make each wall something a little bit different. So it gives you the impression I'm in this massive studio instead of like, I don't know how big this thing is, whatever it is. It's actually a small bedroom that I use, that I'm sitting in over here, my small bedroom office now, the rest of that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy as it goes, but we'll see. And then maybe as these projects continue on outside of this thing that we're doing here, maybe we'll take that step forward. Maybe take the show on the road. Hey, that'd be fun. Jerry, good afternoon to you there too. Maybe take the show on the road. That'd be fun. Donna Drake Media Network Studios. Donna has been just on a tear. I'm staying. I gotta throw that website up there too. But Donna Drake, over her lifetime, has been focused on the entertainment. There we go. Is easy enough. Has been focused on the entertainment side of things, and she is now. There we go. It's very nice. She is now in her own studio. She's got her own. I put up the link on that one. That's another one to go take a peek at. So she's put together her own studio, a couple of different rooms, continues to expand. I need to get over there to go see exactly what's going on. But the last time I was there, she had a nice big meeting room, living room kind of setup, a break room, bunch of tables that was set up like a 1950s style. So it's been used, I think, for either in different commercials or some movie set or something along those lines. Had a soundproof room. So if you're going to do voiceovers, you have a soundproof room that could be used. Another room that's used for for the hair and makeup. Another room that is used really is something else. Another room that is used for video if you're doing a podcast, which is nice over there because that is now an edited. Uh, it's edited, which is really cool. So that's another plus on that side of things. It comes with a producer, a couple of different. Comes with a producer. I lost the website here. Comes with a producer, as well as green backdrop, and you could do anything that you'd like to do with regards to that. So that's kind of cool in that respect. So there we go. We're back here. Wow, too many buttons open on that one. Jerry, maybe one of these days you need to help me simplify this thing. Soundproof room, video room, podcast, table, multi-camera, producer, the whole thing. Really cool. Tim Healy, does his podcast over there. So if that's something to go take a look at, without a doubt. Tim's program, and you can find the link for it over on Donna's site, the big green room, and then she's got this new video setup, which I don't want to explain to you because I can't at this point in time. But it basically allows you to be in that room, and it's got multiple screens, and you could bring anybody in, and it looks like you're all sitting right next to each other on the whole thing, along with the TV set that she has for her show. And that's every Saturday morning that gets broadcast. So it's wild, right? So it's right over there in Millville. And so if there's ever a need I got for a studio, it's there. If it's something that's done remote, well, she got the capabilities there, along with John Richardson, who is another one with QuickCast. Might as well put his stuff up there too. Ooh, John has a company called QuickCast, and he's got a mobile home. He's got a mobile home that he turned into a rolling studio, and this thing is just absolutely incredible. Another one to go take a look at. And what he's able to do with that is anything, just absolutely anything. So, and I've shot video in there too. Two is just like, sitting on a metal chair, just a flat out metal chair. By the time he got done with all of his toys, we were now sitting on big chairs, not even like this, I mean, like really nice, nice chairs. I didn't move actually, but it looked like we were sitting on the big chairs, sitting at a glass table, had the reflection of the arm on the glass table as well. Nice. I forgot what the backdrop was, but the backdrop was, regular studio looking stuff. That's like unbelievable, right? We did. It was at an event. I interviewed a whole bunch of people in one clip, and it was just great. It was just so super easy to go and do. And last on this list of folks that we are working with, that I am working closely with, is going to be, and has always been, Arthur Germain. And that is here. Arthur, that's brand telling. So Arthur is in the branding business. So we'll help a company, mostly B2B, company either rebrand or refresh their brand. And that's a lot of reasons why I talk about that. It's like, how do people perceive you? If they're not perceiving you the way you want to be perceived, it's time for you to rebrand yourself. How do you do that? There's a number of different steps that go along the way. In my world, a lot of it has to do with using your voice to build your brand and to build your business. I'm a big fan of that, especially if you're a smaller business or someone who's a solopreneur. You are the business. Make no bones about it. People are hiring you. They're not hiring your business. They're hiring you. You get to a large institution like, some of these retail stores. You have any idea who's running the company? You have any care who's running the company? No. It's what the company represents. That's the business, a business brand. So his focus is really on a retail company working with their vendors and being one of those vendors. That's the business side of things. But a lot of what, and here's the great tie-in on the whole thing. Right? Is the fact that a lot of us have a lot to learn from these folks. Will you have a TV show like Donna does that's been on the air for many, many years? Probably not. Will you do a podcast? Will you be on camera at some point in time? Probably. Will you need have the ability to go to her studio, or you need a studio to come to you? Will you need a studio setting because you knew her, it just kind of feels good? Well, or just a video crew. Well, that's where it comes to. Sometimes it's a Donna thing. Sometimes it's a John Richardson thing. When it comes to QuickCast, there's a difference there. You need a video to show up at your place of business. A whole studio to show up at your place of business. John's is on wheels, man. That is like the greatest thing in the world. Putting that message together. How do you do that? Well, let's take the Maria Fry world. I mean, she guides these people that are in transition as to how to redo their resumes. You're probably not going to want to redo your resume, But she also guides them 100% on that LinkedIn profile, what it should be, how to interact on LinkedIn, how to interact with other people, how to find potential jobs, and how to find the folks that are the decision makers for those positions. Well, let's change a few words, but don't we all want to speak to the decision makers? A lot to learn from Maria Fry on the business side of things, besides what it is that she does. And of course, Arthur, that brand. So when he works with a company, it's very involved. There's a lot of steps, a lot of coordination, because generally you have different departments and internal memo documents and internal communication. And when he does his podcast service with those folks, it's got to be right. So it's edited. It's edited to an extent, like if you give an answer, you're not really crazy about that answer, and you want to rephrase it, boom, get the capabilities of doing that professionally done. You want to do a podcast, just audio, or do it visual, or you want to have a message that's in your about section on that. A lot of different ways of using those kind of services there. But more importantly, the structure of how he does it with a company to company. Well, there's a lot that's in there that can be utilized for the smaller businesses, for the solopreneurs, for the small business couple of employee people. The whole program? No, absolutely not. Um, wouldn't Some of it wouldn't be appropriate, you know, but a smaller, shorter, more finite version of it, yeah, absolutely. You do it alone, you get people to help you out doing it, you got your own team, all well and good. Need the advice of any of these folks to go and do something? It's there. It's all well and good. So perhaps doing more specific shows in my world may be the way to go. So I'm going to leave you with this thought as we're down to the next minute or so. It's like, how many different directions are you going in? What are your team? Who is your team that's helping you go out and achieve different things? And are you bringing them all together? Are you all working kind of together as much as you can? Everybody's got their own focus, but some commonality there. Taking full advantage of it, and I'll say that's not bad. It's good taking full advantage of it, because if you're doing that and you're growing, then the conversely goes back to their growing too. There's so many things that can happen with the right team. Has to start with knowing who you are and what you really want to achieve, and what you're naturally good at, what your challenges are, and then working within that. So make believe you're a fourth grade student. You're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? You get, anything can happen. Well, as we get older, we know that there are a lot of things you can't, but just start with the anything can happen, and then whittle it down, from there, and get a little bit more realistic for current situations now that maybe you didn't have then. Maybe you did, whatever. But see what you could do. Hey, look, maybe you went from you couldn't do it then, but now you can do it now. Well, a lot of folks going into retirement are like, you know, there's this thing I've always wanted to do, and now you have the time to do it. That's where it goes back to your situation is your situation. Your pluses, your minuses, your things you're good at, your challenges, your time constraints or free time. That's all you. There is nobody that's you. You are the only person that is you in your own scenario. Question is, what do we all do with it? What do we all do with it? Just go and keep busy, or do we actually do something with it? Time to do something with it, I think. We're coming, knock on wood, hopefully, we're getting back to whatever this new economic scenario is, as that goes. But it's time. It's always time. Always time. Not just New Year's resolution time, but it's always time to go out and do so. We're revisiting. I hope you revisit your own set of goals as well. And again, I always thank you for joining us, here on Tomato Talk. And you know what you need to do? You need to speak well, speak often, and without a doubt, live inspired, because it's up to you to do it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Just got to be you. Find those things that keep you going, and then keep it going. Have a great day.